Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day here on my deck. It is 6:30 in the morning. One thing I like to do is get up and watch the sunrise in the east. Grab my coffee. Thank you, John Bolton, for the idea. And I watch the sunrise. It's a very powerful way to get up in the morning. It starts the day on the right foot. Gets a little chilly. Today it was only about 5 degrees out here when I sat. But it's a good way. You're probably going to hear some bulls in the background. We have some coyotes now. There's a lot of coyotes out there. Anyhow, as I woke up this morning, I got thinking about the need that we all have to act. It's quite the chorus of coyotes. I really hope the microphone can pick this up. My two dogs are sitting on the deck looking out to the south where the noise is coming from. And then it's over. Anyhow, the need to act, just like those coyotes are howling at something, we need to howl at something and we need to make a difference. The one thing I really want to point out to everyone today is how the Liberal government under Trudeau and now continuing with Mark Carney has increased the money supply and what that means for you and your family. There's a tweet. Here's what it says. The new Canadian M2 money supply level reached at the historic 8.48% compound annual growth rate of 8.48% from 1968 to present. $100 in Canadian dollars savings will have a purchasing power of $44 in 10 years. So your money will be worth half of what it is now. So if you have saved up, just keep the math simple, $100,000 for your retirement. In 10 years, all that labor, all that effort, all that work will be worth half of what it is now. You might still have $100,000 in the bank, but the value of it, what you can actually purchase, will be half. And so your $100 in 20 years is only going to be worth $19. And in 30 years, it's only going to be worth $8.69. So if you have your $100,000 invested and it's growing at 7%, you're still behind. The inflation is growing faster than your investments and you are losing money daily. Yeah, that ain't good. That ain't good. The government has made policies that every hour you are working, the next day that money is worth less. And it's not going to stop unless the government changes direction. In one of the talks I give, I talk about how we're heading towards a cliff. We're going 100 miles an hour towards a cliff and we're going to fly off and die in a fiery ball of flames. This is that cliff. And the thing about the math, it is inevitable. That is what's going to happen to our money supply. That's what's going to happen to your wealth. That's what's going to happen to your children's wealth. This is your children's future in a nutshell. They're going to work harder and they're going to just every day get slowly and slowly and slowly farther behind. That's the future they have to look forward to, which isn't a very good future. So why is the federal government trying to do this? Well, they're trying to prop up the economy because under 10 years of Liberal policy, it is a complete disaster. They're having to bring in literally millions of immigrants every year just in the hope that it will keep the housing bubble going, because that's the only thing that's growing in our major cities. Is Carney trying to devalue the currency so he can bring in a central bank digital currency? I don't know, but if the currency collapses, the government has to do something. And based on the current technology and information coming out from different organizations like the WEF and the World Bank, most governments are just in love of this central bank digital currency because it will give them more control over the currency and more control over your lives and what you can do with your currency. You may have noticed that Bitcoin hit an all-time high this morning. And the reason for that isn't that Bitcoin is going up, 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 up. It's that everything else is going down, down, down. And Bitcoiners have been saying it for years that everything is eventually going to go to zero compared to Bitcoin. We're seeing that today. Bitcoin's going to keep going up because there's a limited supply. People are seeing it as the only safe way to store wealth. And more people want to save their wealth, so they're buying more Bitcoin and leaving this old world system of fiat currency that we're stuck with. Albert Einstein had a quote, "Those who have the privilege to know have the duty to act." So now that you know that the government is deliberately doing this, they are deliberately, through policies and decisions that they are making, They are deliberately breaking our currency and stealing your family's wealth one day at a time through inflation. You have the obligation to act to save your family, to protect your family's wealth for the next generation, for the generation after that, and the generation after that. If you sit back and wait for the government to do something good for you, it's not going to happen. You're going to be waiting a very, very, very long time. The government is in it for itself, not for you. So you need to act. Let's get something going. Thank you very much. It's Tim Hoven. Check me out at the Substack, timhoven.com. Thank you.